growth and prosperity. A blight for one Northeast Florida community, and by blight, I mean boon. So I decided to come here and find out why for myself.
You're watching Not Quite the News You Were Expecting, live from St. Johns County with your host, Chad Everlight.
Thank you for watching. Our first story takes us to a Northeast Florida county where residents seem to be suffering from an overabundance of things to do, places to eat, and stores to shop in. Why is this a problem, you may ask, and you should. Let's roll tape. St. Johns County. It used to be a quiet place where tourists would come in the spring and summer, but then, as if called away by some mysterious evil Pied Piper, left local businesses high and dry in the fall and winter.
You had a situation where you had two distinct seasons, which was anywhere from 2 to 3 weeks before Easter to 2 to 3 weeks after Easter. And you had when the kids got out of school in June and all the way until Labor Day, you had big business.
There's a lot of vacation areas in the U.S. and especially in Florida that shut down for when their season is done, they are done.
And consequently, those 2 seasons, it was feast or famine. You either made it then or you didn't make it.
Yes, folks, feast or famine, or as some people call it, the good old days, where shops and restaurants were few, and in the off-season closed early. And if you wanted fine dining or live music, well, there was always Jacksonville.
Well, those good old days are over, thanks in large part to the efforts of the local tourism industry and their audacious mission to bring people from faraway locations
here, of all places, to enjoy all things touristy. And the results of their efforts are in, and those results are shocking. And by shocking, I mean awesome. Last year, St. Johns County visitors put 29,000 people to work and provided $2.4 billion in economic impact. Those visitors also dropped a whopping $1.1 billion into the cash registers of local businesses. I know what you're thinking. 1.1 billion. I make that in my sleep. But for a lot of people in this community, that's a whole lot of pizza time and Kookaburra mochachinos. In other words, barely enough to get by on. It turns out that last year, tourism spending put $885 million into the pockets of tourism-related workers and proprietors. And that money was then spent locally in the community to create or sustain even more local jobs. But not everyone is on board the happy train. We caught up with one resident, a Mr. Robert Carlson, to discuss the downside of being so popular with the rest of the world. There are those, and by those I mean pretty much everyone, that say because of tourism, there's more for locals to do now in St. Johns County than in any other time in history.
Well, I don't know much about history, but I know that I never go downtown anymore. No one does. It's too crowded. It's too much of a bother, and there's nothing for locals like me to do anyway. Nobody likes living here anymore. And
come see a band with us at Colonial Quarter.
Come on, yeah,
Come
it's gonna be
on,
fun.
man.
You know you wanna.
So, those would not be your neighbors going out for a night on the town because it's too crowded. So Rob misses out on all the great things that year-round tourism brings to the area. Concerts, the 4th of July, the Night of Lights, Beach Blast, and many more. All provided by TDC tax dollars collected from overnight visitors. In closing, yes, there are issues like traffic and parking, but the year-round presence of tourists has enhanced the lifestyle options for the residents of St. Johns County. You eat in the restaurants, you go to the great concerts, you enjoy the abundant nightlife, and shop in the terrific stores. In other words, you've all become visitors to your own area. You've all become local tourists. Boom! Roll those credits.
I'm Jim Wilson, City Attorney for the City of St. Augustine Beach, and I'm a local tourist.
I'm Nick Smith, one of the owners of the Corner Market in Lincolnville, and I'm a local tourist.
I'm Valerie Lee, owner of Anastasia Design Group, and I'm a local tourist.
I'm Peter Darios, one of the owners of Sunset Grill, and I'm a local tourist.
I'm Joe DeFeo, owner of Volkswagen of St. Augustine, and we are local tourists.